But YouTube, what's going on? She got Professor Smell Good coming to you guys here live at my house at the Bait. Introducing to you guys a new fragrance that you guys been waiting on me to bring out, because I said before that I got a real nice surprise for you guys, and you've been wondering what surprise is that. And it's none other than bean pie. That's the name of this fragrance here. It's called bean pie. Now, I know you guys are like, man, he made a fragrance called bean pie. And I know a lot of you guys are familiar with the bean pie, because this bean pie is actually part of African American food culture. Just like soul food is part of African American food culture, bean pie is most definitely from amongst African American food culture. Make no mistake about that, okay? Now, before I tell you how I came up with this fragrance, let me first educate you about the history of bean pie. Now, let me just clarify something. I am not with the Nation of Islam, okay? I'm not with the Nation of Islam at all, okay? I am a real Muslim, or Orthodox Muslim, as most will call it. So, I'm not with the Nation of Islam. But let me tell you the history of bean pie, so you can appreciate this fragrance a little bit more. Bean pie was actually created by, of course, Elijah Muhammad, his name before Elijah Pooh, the one who actually started the Nation of Islam. He was the one that actually came up with the ingredients to make what we know now as bean pie. From what I was told by a guy who was with the Nation of Islam, is that Elijah Muhammad was actually a chef. He was a chef. He was a very good cook. And so I was told that he was the one that actually came up with the bean pie. And once he came up with it, and, he, actually sell it to his members wholesale, and his members would actually go out on the streets and sell the bean pies. And because of how delicious it was, it made a name for itself. So, just like I said, a bean pie is from African American food culture. So that's how it came about. But there's a lot of guys who used to be with the Nation of Islam, who left it and became Orthodox Muslims, but they still kept with them that hustle of selling the bean pies with them. So within the African American Muslim community and the Nation of Islam, bean pies is still well known, okay? So anyway, so how did I come up with this fragrance? My wife, she went to school for culinary arts, okay? My wife loves to bake, okay? And my wife actually learned how to make the bean pie from her mother. All right, her mother passed away, if I'm not mistaken, 8 years ago. And her mother was really good at making the bean pies, and she was so good that she used to actually have like what we call them the candy. We used to call them the candy lady back in the days, where, they sold chips and cakes and pops and stuff like that. Kids knock on the door. Where her mom, she used to sell the bean pies by the slice, and kids just actually knock on her door to actually buy them. And they still love it. So my wife took the same recipe, and she actually probably became a little bit better than her mother, and which is a great mark for her mother. And my wife still makes the bean pies. I used to, love the waking up in the morning time, because I used to actually sell the bean pies for my wife. When I used to sell the oils, and I have brothers say, hey, listen, man, grab me a bean pie, and I'll tell my wife, and she'll make it. And so this actually drives home what made me come up with this. My wife, I was talking to my wife one day, and I said, baby, listen, I miss, that aroma in the morning time of the bean pies. And she was like, yeah, I got to order. I got to make one for my sister. And so I said, hold up, baby. I said, you know what? What if I actually make a fragrance called bean pie? So she started laughing, and she said that would be a really great idea. So she challenged me, and here it is, right here. I just actually had a brother to smell it, and the brother told me, he said, yeah, brother, that smells just like bean pie. So here it is, bean pie, and this is unisex fragrance. Okay, this fragrance here, man, I got a feeling that it's going to be a real nice hit. I think that women are probably going to incline towards this more than the men. But come to my shop, 700 Shane, East Lafayette, inside of the Family Fair Marketplace, Detroit, Michigan, and come and grab this one. Also, I do shipping with this, but you got to give me a call, 313-293-9766. Thank you guys for watching. This is my new fragrance, unisex fragrance called Bean Pie. Professor Smell Good.